and you still blame your abusiveness on your childhood trauma. Be so for real. And today is a little bit different. I'm going to be very serious. I have my notes here. I have my drink. I'm meaning business today. Hi my butterflies, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Alexis and I'm back with another video. As you can see by the title, we are talking everything personal growth. What have I learned in my 20s so I can help a girl in her early 20s, because I'm not in my early 20s anymore. And if you are new here, please subscribe. If you haven't, please do. I'm ready to be sharing sit down videos, guys. I'm ready. I'm back and ready. I've missed you guys. So every week I'll be sharing a video. This week we are having a sit down. So next week we'll be having a vlog. Then the other week a sit down. So please share any things you'd like me to talk about in the next video. So you can tell us in the comments what you've learned in your 20s. And the girl is in their 30s. You even know better, you have more wisdom, so do not hesitate to share in the comments. Do not forget to like, to leave a comment, to share this video, and subscribe. Please, that's the least you can do, and it costs you nothing, trust me. Let's get into it. So here are some of the things I've learned in my 20s. Number one, be teachable. Because let me tell you, however smart you are, however educated you are, however old you are, it does not matter. There's always someone that knows way more than you do. It's okay to not know things, and it's okay to be taught by someone. It doesn't matter if they are older or younger, if they are not as rich as you are. If you're better than them in so many aspects of your life, they can also be better than you in some aspects of their lives. Yeah, so be teachable. Trust me, in this life, people who are humble and teachable always win. That is something that I keep telling myself, I keep praying about, because trust me, wisdom is power, and your network is your net worth. So how are you going to network with people if you don't want them to teach you, if you don't want them to tell you things that you do not know, if you don't want them to call you out when you're in wrong? There are things my little sister would tell me and I'll be like, you're actually right. How did you even get to know that? I give her a chance to like share more, and I learn a thing or two. And sometimes God is actually using these people. They are just vessels, and probably you prayed about something, you need God to show you something or to teach you something, and He's using these people as vessels to teach you a thing or two. Yeah, so be teachable. The other thing that my 20s have taught me is no one is coming to save you. Not your mother, not your father, not your best friend, not your siblings, not even God. I'm sorry, but God is going to give you the idea. He's going to give you the wisdom. He's going to push people to come to you and tell you, wake up and start that business. Wake up and read for your exams. Wake up. I remember growing up, my mom used to wake me up in my form 6, my form 4, when you have papers to do, your neighbor is approaching, she would wake me up and tell me, go and read. And I would show her that I'm reading. As soon as I realized that she's back into her bed, I would go and sleep. So guess who is saving myself? Even if my mom actually got a cane and caned me, I can still look in the book and not read. Even if people give you business ideas, they give you capital, they motivate you, you watch podcasts, listen to sermons, go to the pastor and they pray for you. If you don't want, you will not do it. So no one is coming to save you. You still have to put in the work. As much as you're listening to these motivational speakers, you are listening to the sermons and the podcasts, and you're reading all the books. If you do not put in the work, guess who is going to be held accountable? You are going to hold yourself accountable at the end of the day, and you feel like a failure. So remember that no one is going to come and save you. You are going to do that yourself. And that leads me to my third one, which is motivation is not enough sometimes. Sometimes motivation is not enough. Yeah, there are times when you will call your best friend, call your mom, call your dad, call whoever for motivation, and still it will not be enough. You will still feel like going back to bed. You feel like not starting that business or going to work, whatever, or go to school and read. Motivation might not be enough. You will need discipline. So it's very important to have discipline. Pray about having discipline. As much as we pray for motivation, I hope you pray for discipline, because it's also very, very important. I feel like discipline is the best form of self-love. You cannot say you love yourself, but you don't take care of yourself. Today you will eat well, and then the next day you are back to your old habits. Today you wake up at 5 a.m. You said you'll be waking up at 5 a.m. every day, and then on day 2 you're already giving up. Where is the self-love? So yes, I would urge you to pray for discipline, because I know as much as I'm talking about it, I struggle with it as well sometimes, and all I do is pray about it. And you can also listen to like podcasts that talk about it. How do you stay disciplined? How do you stay consistent? If you say that you're going to be taking a walk every morning, have you been consistent with that? Actually, the best way to build self-esteem is through doing the things you said you're going to do. And this is also something I'm also working on. Working on yourself doesn't stop, because trust me, the devil is also working. As much as we are working, the devil is also working. You're trying to be disciplined, and he's also bringing these things to interfere with your discipline and your consistency. So you should be on your knees every day as much as you want to stay locked in. I've grown to understand in my 20s that everything is temporary. I'll even use an example of my YouTube. Today we are at 700 subscribers. We could wake up at 1,000. Everything is temporary. Even if people don't just like, you don't like break up with someone, you can just outgrow them, and you feel like they don't match your level of growth, if that makes sense. Sometimes it's even distance. Sometimes, God forbid, they can die. So everything is temporary. That situation that you are going through right now, be it you're very happy, you're having the best time of your life, please live in the moment, enjoy it as much as it lasts, because trust me, it won't last forever. And as much as that won't last forever, even the bad times, if they happen, they're not going to be there forever. Tomorrow morning you wake up to a better day. So I feel like that's why I'm always even happy and jolly even when I'm going through rough times, because I know at the end of the day it's gonna pass. Everything is temporary. Even that terrible situation, you're probably so broke, or you are sick, or you are just sad or depressed. Let me tell you something. And I watched a podcast where this lady said, the bigger the problem, the bigger the achievement, or the bigger the success, or the big, like something better is going to come, and it's going to be bigger. It's going to be bigger than your situation, your bad situation. So having that at the back of your mind, that everything is temporary, this too shall pass. You won't ever in your life be there and worry, you haven't eaten today, you don't have money to get breakfast or dinner or lunch. Keep a smile on your face, because man shall not live on the flesh alone. That's what the Bible says. You're not gonna die, and tomorrow, guess what? You're gonna get food. Pray about it and do what it takes to actually get food on that table, because opportunities are out there. You're just not putting in the work to get them and get that money. Yeah, so me, I'm a firm believer that everything is temporary. Whatever situation I'm going through right now, if I'm not living my best life right now, I know for a fact I'm going to have my best life very soon. But what am I doing towards that life? If probably I want to be a millionaire by the end of this year, what am I doing to actually be a millionaire? Am I going out every night to spend the money that I should have saved so that I can be a millionaire by the end of the year? It also matters. So sometimes we are in those situations, in the bad situations, for a very long time because of our own doing. Trust me, no situation lasts forever. So don't worry, this too shall pass. But have you guys seen my lip combo though? Have you seen my lip combo? Okay, this lip gloss is from Evel Beauty. I used the purple lip liner and the pink lip gloss, and oh my god, it's eating. I love it. Stop blaming your situation on your parents, on your childhood. Stop. Just stop. I feel like as soon as you hit 25, you are responsible for whatever you choose to do with your life. If you are broke, if you don't have a job, if you are whatever you are after 25, You are responsible for that. Stop telling us about childhood trauma. I tell my parents didn't take me to school. I totally understand that it contributes, but you've had 5 years, like you had from 20 to 25 to do something about that. Some people even change their lives in 1 year. Making these points not just for you guys, but for me as well. Like for the longest time, I've blamed certain situations on my parents until I was like, no, okay, they could have done A, B, C, D, and you can't even blame them because they were also probably blaming their parents. Yeah, so there are certain things that you look at and you're like, okay, why don't I have a job right now? I mean, I'm probably 25, 26, 27, you're probably 30, and you've not had a job for the past 10 years. Yeah, let's say job opportunities are not there for whatever you studied for. I did accounting and finance. Let's say I failed to become an accountant. I could have started a business. Lately, starting a business is literally the easiest thing. We should stop blaming our situations. Probably you are depressed. There are so many resources for you to work on your mental health right now. There are so many, but you are 30 or 28 or 25 and you still blame it on. My father used to drink a lot when I was younger. Let's assume you're an abusive partner and you are probably 30 something and you still blame your abusiveness on your childhood trauma. Be so for real. Like there's so many resources. You could have paid for a therapist, but you prefer to go and drink your life away and then come back and abuse your partner. So I do not believe in that. I don't know about you guys, but let me know in the comments. Let me know. Vulnerability is not a weakness, my loves. That is something that I've grown to understand because I used to be very, very, what should I call it? Like I would keep so much to myself. Like you'd be going through something and you could have talked to someone about it, but I would rather go to my bed and cry my life away than talk about it because I don't want to be vulnerable. Maybe this person is going to judge me. Maybe they will not see me the same. Maybe, but let me tell you something. That person that you want to talk to is probably going through the same thing. And even if they are not, they know someone going through it. And we are all humans. I keep saying this on my Instagram. We are all humans. What the other person is going through, I might probably go through next year, or I might know a relative going through it. Let me tell you, even the richest person has experienced poverty at one point in their lives. Trust me. So there is nothing wrong with being vulnerable. You probably are scared of being vulnerable with the wrong person. So you need to pray for discernment. I keep telling people, being vulnerable is not the problem. Sharing your feelings, sharing what you're going through because you could have gotten help, but you're fearing to be vulnerable. Being vulnerable is not the problem. The problem is that you are sharing your issues with the wrong person. So you need to pray for discernment so that you can look and discern and be like, no, this is not the kind of person God wants me to. Trust me, God will lead you to the right person. You see, even with therapists, you can go through different therapists and not feel like you will feel like this is not your therapist until suddenly you will find your therapist, because we are made different and we connect with different people. So there's nothing wrong with being vulnerable. It's not a weakness. It's actually the strongest people are the people that are vulnerable, and they have healed so many parts of their lives because they've talked about things they're going through. And the more you talk about things and put them out there, the more they cease to be problems. You literally release of some kind of weight. You feel much better. So if you feel like you're going through something and you want to talk to someone, please pray about it. Ask God to provide that. Even God, you can even talk to God and you can even just sit here and tell God, ABCD. He's always also there listening, and he'll give the best advice. This is something I really wish someone told me. Your first love shouldn't be your last. Stop trying to make that relationship work. If it's not working, it's okay. Let it go. That's not your person. Your person shouldn't bring you pain. Your person shouldn't disrespect you. Your person shouldn't make you feel like, I'm not sure. You should be sure. If you feel, the moment you start asking your friends, do you think I'm making the right decision? You start asking your friends, trust me, that's not your person. That's not your person. And it's okay. And I'm talking to myself as well, because I was a victim. And I wish I could, like, but I don't have time. I wish I could go deeper. But you will be in a very toxic relationship thinking it must work out because it's your first and you want it to be your last. It's okay for someone not to be for you. It's very okay. You're actually stopping yourself and that person from meeting your people. Yeah, let it go. That brings me to my next point. Your 20s are not your years of finding love, most especially if you're in your early 20s. If you're like 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, your frontal lobe hasn't even developed. And you're probably with a man whose frontal lobe has developed. They are just manipulating you. Actually, why are you even dating when you're below 25? I feel like, honestly, I feel now that I'm older, I know for sure. Why are you 20 and you are dating someone who is above 25 or in their 30s? If you actually date someone who's like 21, 22, 23. If they're older than that, no. You guys are trying so hard to find love, yet you are still young. Your 20s are your years of self-discovery, your years of just having fun and figuring out life. Focus on making yourself better. And personally, I really wish someone told me this when I was younger, because honestly, we spend so much time in our early 20s finding marriage, yet you are supposed to be studying, reading your books, and helping your parents out. Why are you trying to find love when you are just 20? Tell me why. Another thing I've learned in my 20s is you cannot love anyone if you do not love yourself. And that is why you shouldn't even be finding love when you're just 20 or 21. Focus on falling in love with yourself. Trust me, those are the years where you have the worst self-esteem. You don't love yourself. You might think you do, but you don't. You are just trying to figure out your life. You're trying to compare yourself with people. You just came out of your teenage years, your adolescence. You're confused. So focus on falling in love with yourself. You're going to compare yourself. People are going to be telling you. And right now we have so much on social media. There is a particular kind of perfection in how a woman should look like. You are probably comparing yourself with your friends who probably finished campus and they are working, they're making money, they are driving, they're getting married, and you're feeling like a failure. So how about you focus on falling in love with yourself, building your self-esteem, finding that job, getting that business, making that money, so that you build yourself and you can put that out there. Yeah, these are the years you should even pray so hard and pray to God to help you find yourself and fall in love with yourself and appreciate how He created you. I'm telling you because I know women, we struggle so much in our early 20s, in our teenagers. We compare even now, like even when you're like in your 30s. I know people in their 30s that are still struggling with self-esteem, with self-love, and these are things even people who have worked on, because working on yourself doesn't stop. If I tell you, oh my God, right now I'm so in love with myself, I've worked on myself, it doesn't mean, oh my God, I don't have days where I doubt myself. Those days are always going to be there. That is why they say it's a continuous process. It goes on and on. It doesn't stop. So I urge you, my love, before you try so hard to love people, you won't even love them well. You're going to be very toxic in so many different ways. So focus on falling in love with yourself. If you guys want a video on how to find yourself and love yourself and, Be the best version of yourself. Let me know in the comments. I'll do a video on that. Another thing I've learned in my 20s is we were all put on this planet to serve a purpose. You were not just created to just exist. It doesn't matter who you are, where you are from. It does not matter. You are on this planet to serve a purpose. Do you guys even follow like Jesus' story? He was literally a carpenter, born in a family that wasn't known anywhere. He was living a humble life, very what some people might call poor life. But guess what? He was created and put on this planet to serve a purpose, and his purpose was way more meaningful than anyone's purpose on this planet. So it doesn't matter who you are, where you're from, what you do, have a purpose to serve. And if you're just living your life well without pursuing that purpose, you need to check yourself. No one cares how much money you have. God doesn't even care like how many buildings you're going to live when you die. What you leave on people's hearts, the legacy that matters. I keep using Mandela's story because it's what is like most people know about. Mandela died. I don't even know how many buildings Mandela had. I don't even know how many kids he has. Like, those are things most people don't care about. But we all know his story and what he did to impact the people that he lived with. The people in the prison. If you've read the 5 a.m. club book, it also like talks about its purpose and how Mandela, like the people who are with him in prison, what he did when he left. Like when he left, everyone had something to say about him. So when you enter a room and you sit and talk to people and then you leave, let's say an hour later or 2 hours later, what are they going to say about you? Leave the small talk. I'm talking about what you actually did with those people, what you talked about. What did you leave them with when you decided to go? It really, really matters. So I hope you are serving your purpose. And if you don't know what your purpose is, that is where self-discovery comes in. You get to discover different. We can have a video on that as well, but it's very important to know your purpose and serve it. Now, this is something I'm also working on, by the way. Be very, and I emphasize, be very intentional with your time, what you do with your time, who you spend your time with. Be very intentional with your time. It's so crazy how I just started waking up at 5 a.m. last year. I wish I knew this earlier. Waking up at 5 a.m. has changed my life. Like, I'm very critical with how I spend my time. I literally plan my weeks. Before I go to bed, I know what I'm going to do tomorrow. I have a list, because when you have a business, you have a family, you have friends, you are a content creator. I know I don't have so many things. There are people who have way too many things to do, but I feel like I have so much to do, so I can easily forget. So when you plan your day and you wake up and you tick everything off, do you know how amazing that feels? I know you may not be able to relate to it if you don't do it, but try it. You will let me know. Before I started waking up at 5 a.m., sometimes I would wake up at midday. Sometimes I'll wake up at 1. If I'm so lucky, I would wake up at 10. I was always late for my meetings. I just existed, guys. And I thought I was okay. Like I was living a normal life, just like everyone else. But no, the richest people, the wealthiest people, the people that have their lives together, wake up at 5 a.m. and they have extra hours. When you wake up at 5 a.m., you have so much time. Trust me, imagine I'm waking up at 5 a.m. and someone who is waking up at 8. We both have to be at work by 9. Who is going to be there earlier and who's going to be... Literally, you have a slow morning when you wake up at 5. Nothing is rushing. You, no one is calling your phone. Everything is just quiet and you are focused. Oh my God, we should do a video on that. And that leads me to my next point. Reading and studying and getting more knowledge does not stop. I wish I knew this earlier, because how I hated reading books, how I hated school. Like, we are in school, but we are praying, oh my God, when do we leave school? Trust me, if you're still in school and you're watching this, it doesn't stop. It does not stop. It actually becomes even worse. Reading books is a must in adulthood, and it does not stop. You know that thing I told you guys, no one is coming to save you. No one is going to force you to read the books. But the difference between me who is reading and you who is not, you already know. And I feel like no one can relate to this unless they've read a book or they are reading books. I used to hate reading. When people would tell me you need to read, I would say no. Listening to podcasts is amazing, but people like just right now, I'm telling you guys certain things I've read from certain books. I'm sharing knowledge that I've gotten from different books. I'm not telling you everything. I'm not telling you everything in that book. I'm just pinpoint different things. That's what happens on podcasts as well. Reading podcasts is also another source of knowledge, but I need you to do both. Read. If you can't read, at least listen to an audio book, as long as you get the wisdom into your head. You know why they say money comes and goes? Let's say you got the wealth you inherited the wealth. It's very easy for you to become broke, because the only way your parents were able to maintain that wealth, so you need to learn every day. You need to wake up and learn something new. Like when I'm planning my day, I always fix in a podcast and a page or pages to read, so that I continue to feed my mind. And that's why I encourage people to go for conferences where people are teaching certain different things, because those things exist. If you want to learn to improve your life, you want to be a better version of yourself, let's say you're building your brand, or you are growing a business, or you want to discover yourself, you want to fall in love yourself, you want to better your mental health, all this is there in Uganda. These events, these conferences, these things are happening. You want to improve your finances, the finance master classes are also there. So the information is there, you just do not want. So the other thing that my 20s have taught me is to do it scared. Personally, I am a risk taker. Like, I don't care if I want to do something, even if I know the risks. I know that I don't have money, let's say, to start a particular business. I've done so many things, but I always go for it. The money will find me. So I feel like I'm the best person to advise when it comes to that. Like when you want to start a business, you want to do anything in life, it doesn't have to be a business. When you want to ask for a job, you want to apply for a job, you want to reach out to someone to ask for something, trust me, what's the worst that could happen? I usually hear people want to start content creation and they tell me, how do you put yourself out there? Don't you be scared that people are going to judge? And someone texted me the other day that they feel like my videos are nice, but for them, theirs are so cringe. They can't sit in front of a camera and talk. And I was like, what? What do you even mean? Why would you compare us like that? Like me, I can't compare myself like that. I wouldn't. Like, you have to be your own cheerleader. You come first, others follow. Like, why would you do that to yourself? Do not compare yourself like that. What's the worst that could happen? Okay, let's say people are going to laugh at you. So after they laugh, what happens? Do you lose anything? They're actually watching the video, they're adding more views, they're sharing in their group chats to laugh, but they're adding you more views. And guess what? The more views, the more this video reaches your target market. If, let's say, it's a business, you're getting clients. If you're a content creator, you're reaching brands that could have approached you. Haven't you seen those videos on TikTok or Instagram where people are being bashed, but then brands are reaching out to this person to work with them because they're getting all the... What's the worst that could happen? Because at the end of the day, we're all gonna die, and you want to die with what? So start it anyway, let them laugh, you can be scared, you post it and then go in your bed and cringe, but post it first and then you can cringe later. Ask for that job, what's the worst that could happen? They're gonna say no, and then what? Are you going to die? Are you going to die? Nothing is going to happen. You're not going to lose your head, you're not going to lose your mind. You know, the only thing that you're going to get is at least you know. Because now if you don't ask for that job, how will you know if they would have given it to you? How will you get other opportunities? Because now if you fail to take the first step, you will not take other steps. Are you going to fly over to, let's say you want to go to the upmost floor? How are you going to get there if you don't take the steps? How? Even if you take the lift, it's going to go through those first steps. It won't just fly. You won't teleport. You don't have superpowers. Yeah, so do it scared. I always tell people, yes, you are scared. Everyone is scared. Even the people that start with businesses that you admire, they were scared. Even the richest person, if we talk to Elon Musk or we talk to Sudhir, all those people that we admire that are rich and wealthy, if you asked them, they'll tell you they were scared, but they did it anyway. The only difference is that for them, they did it, and for you, you are just scared and you didn't do anything, and you're just there with your life. My sister, this is something I would also want to tell myself. Stop trying to change people. I've been working on this. I'm still working on it. I've been listening, and I want to even read the book. I haven't read the book, but I've listened to podcasts like the one of what's her name? I keep forgetting her name, but she talks about the let them theory. Like, let people be. However much you try to change them, if they don't want to be changed, they will not change. Stop trying to change people. Even me who is talking to you right now, you clicked on this video because you want to be changed. But if I came to your house and I forced you and tried to tell you, oh my God, you need to A, B, C, D, if you do not want to, I'm wasting my breath. Yeah, so stop trying to force people to be what they don't want to be. Let them be. Don't try to change that man. Stop trying to change that man. He will never be what you are. If he is a cheat, he will forever be a cheat unless he chooses to find Christ and pray about his cheating. But if he doesn't want to stop trying to change them. You either take him for the kind of cheat he is and just pray for him so that he can change. God can help him change. You can't. All you can do is pray for him. If he doesn't want to change, he will not change. Even if you bring the pastor to touch him, if he doesn't want to, he will not. Stop trying to make people change. Stop trying to force people to change. Let them do it willingly. Because when you change, no one forced you. Yeah, you woke up one day and you're like, oh my God, I want to be the best version of myself. And you started listening to podcasts. You started reading the Bible, reading books, and asking your mentors for advice. No one forced you to do nothing, my sister. I have so many things my 20s have taught me, but my phone is blacking out, so maybe we will do a part 2. Others, you guys can also leave some in the comments. Thank you for watching. See you in my next video. Do not forget to subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Like, comment, and share. Bye. Love you. Mwah.